Okay, right here we're asked to do division on this one. And this is a really long problem here. We can do this one via long division, but that would take a long time. There's a shorter method that we can use, and it's called synthetic division. The thing to realize with synthetic division, it works, but it doesn't work in every scenario. What you want to make sure is that your coefficient here in front of the a is 1. That has to be a 1. Okay, if that is a 1, then we're good to go. We can set this one up. It's just a normal binomial. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to write down the coefficients in front of each of these variables here. So we've got the coefficient in front of this one is 1, the coefficient in front of this one is 5, this one is negative 4. So I'm going to go ahead and write all of those down. And here they are, and they correspond. See how this one is a 1, this one's a 5, this one's a negative 4, negative 39, and so forth. All the way through. Okay, now I'm going to move those over just to the middle of the page, just to make it a little bit easier, because I'm going to be working here. So I just slid all these numbers over just a little bit. I didn't change them at all. The next thing that we're going to do with this is to attempt to draw it's a box. This is the most used method that we use. Now that we have this box drawn, what we're going to do is we're going to take this number right here. This is a plus 4. I'm going to take this number, whatever it is, I'm going to change it. Okay, we're going to take the opposite of that number. This is a positive 4, so we're going to take a negative 4. Okay, if it were a negative 4, I would take a positive 4, but in this case it's positive 4. So I'm going to take that negative 4 now, and I'm going to write it over here. Okay, write my negative 4 here. Now, the very first step that we're going to do here is we're going, one second here, okay, we're going to take this 1, and I'm going to bring it straight down. Okay, I just bring it straight down. Now my 1 is down here. Okay, now I take this 4, I go negative 4 times 1. Negative 4 times 1 is a negative 4. Now I bring that right back up here. Okay, that gives me a negative 4 here. Now I'm just going to combine these two. I'm going to add them together. 5 minus 4 is going to put me with a positive 1 again. So here's my positive 1, and I'm doing these in different colors for a reason. We'll see that at the end. You can kind of barely see that 1, but it's there. Okay, again I go negative 4 times 1, and I'm going to draw that 1. I'm going to bring that up and place it right here. Let's see, so negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. So I take that one and I write it right here, negative 4. Again, I'm going to combine these two. Okay, so I've got negative 4 minus 4 would give me a negative 8, and I write that right underneath it. Again, I'm doing different colors here. We'll see that at the end when we're placing it all together. So then I go negative 4 times negative 8 would give me a positive 32, and I'm going to write that right here. Then I combine these two here, negative 39 plus 32 would give me a negative 7. Then I take my negative 4, I multiply that by negative 7, and that would give me a positive 28. I'm going to write that right here. So we're going to continually do this pattern. We're going to add these numbers and then multiply this number that's on the outside of the box here by that number and keep bringing it over each time. We're going to continue that pattern. Okay, so we've got negative 22 plus 28 would give us a positive 6. So we'll see that here. Negative 4 times positive 6 would give me a negative 24. We'll see that here. Okay, now that I've got the negative 24, I'm going to combine these two. 22 minus 24 would give me a negative 2. Now this is important. We're at the end here. And usually at the end here, what I like to do is I like to draw a little box around this last number. This last number tells me what my remainder is. If a remainder comes out to be 0, then you don't have a remainder. That worked out to be perfect. But in this case, it does have a remainder. Now what I'm going to do is I know that this is my remainder. That would make this first number here my constant. Okay, so I'm going to start to formulate my answer, and I work backward, if you will. I work from right to left. I know that my constant is 6, so I'll go ahead and write that. Notice how I did this in the same blue. You see where I'm getting this 6. Next one over is our linear term, and that's the one with just one variable. You notice up here our initial one had negative 22a as our linear term. Now it's going to be negative 7. And I bring that down, it's negative 7a. That's my linear term. Notice how I'm adding these variables in now. This is going to formulate my answer. The next one over to the left, instead of a is going to be my a squared term. Well, this one tells me I have a negative 8 here, so I rewrite this one. I've got negative 8a squared. And that would make my next one over an a cubed. And this one is a 1. That means it's just going to be a positive a cubed. So I bring that one over now. And my last one is also a 1. And that would make this one more over, which would be a to the fourth. Okay, so here is basically the core of my answer. It doesn't include my remainder. My remainder, again, is negative 2. And we've done remainders before. We go our negative 2 divided by a plus 4. So I'm going to rewrite this one, only instead of color coding everything so we see where our numbers came from, now I'm going to just write it all. We'll write it all in black. So here is our answer, a to the fourth plus a cubed minus 8a squared minus 7a plus 6 minus 2 over a plus 4. This minus 2, this is where we got our negative 2 here. That became a minus 2, and then it's always, since this is our remainder, this is over whatever we divided it by, which is a plus 4 here. And each one of these coefficients here, I got through these numbers right along here. Okay,